Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Robles Renegades. Today I'm going to be showing you a few new pickups, including a prop item, as well as some figures I finally finished, some figures that I updated, and a grail figure that I've been wanting to do, or wanting to get, a comic, and then some special characters. So first things first, we're going to start off with the, start knocking everything around, with the Okami Elite Sentry from Delta17, the toy line Delta17 by 5x5 Studios. They also finally released the Delta17 War in the Shadows physical comic. Now we're going to remove this guy for a hot second because we're going to do a comparison and contrast, But yeah, this is the Okami Elite Sentry, exclusively in red and black deco, and I really just love how this looks. To me, this almost looks like if the Red Shadows back in Palitoy's Action Force just went full tilt and decided to say, you know what, ninjas. So, this would actually look really cool if you slapped a couple Red Shadow decals on, like, maybe the body armor somewhere, maybe on the top of the head, or like the front of the forehead. But yeah, he comes with all of these same accessories as their basic ninjas, which have two wrist swappable hands with attachable accessories like attachable swords, an MP5 style submachine gun on the back, which can also be held in the hands, not just slotted into the hand slot, and two full blade katanas. Now, how I got the Okami figure was exactly how it was packed. I don't know if this was intentional, and if it was, then it's one of the smartest things I've ever seen, because it's a very fun modular design in the smallest sense. But the backpack is actually upside down. As you can see on the Okami, this is how I opened it. I have not tampered with the backpack at all, outside of removing a hand. Both backpacks are slightly different. That's because this one is the right side up with the two katanas horizontal and the smaller hand katanas vertical, which hold in damn good too. Meanwhile, the Okami backpack is actually the reverse. The two hand katanas are in these horizontal slots. Meanwhile, the two full-length blades are vertical, which is and then of course the machine gun goes here with the with this version of the backpack, even though it's like flipped upside down. And I think that's kind of smart, because while there isn't a whole lot of while there's literally like no give, I can turn this upside down and like that katana's staying there. That's actually a really fun alternative, just in case you don't want these to slip out by accident, or the hand blades to slip out by accident. Just rotate the bag, and even then, that's so secure. I love these frickin' things. So yeah, that's the major comparisons, other than the standard ninjas having red, gray, and black deco hits on the arms, legs, visor. And this one is just straight red with like a tinge of silver on the shurikens, where on this one they were straight red. So yeah, that's my review of my overall thoughts of this. This is pretty good. It's a simple repaint that's, doesn't detract from the line itself, because it's a troop builder. It's one of the best variants. It's one of the best reasons a repaint could exist, is just troop building. And that's like my favorite thing in the world right now, as you can probably see by the various Action Force figures lined up. I haven't yet read the comic. I haven't broke the seal, but I'm going to be set for a couple seconds. So, from what I can only discern as a divine intervention to keep me with the video's runtime, yeah, I haven't yet cracked the seal of the comic yet. However, I'm very excited to do so. I think this was posted for free on the Delta17 website digitally first, and then they decided to release it as a physical comic, which I'm absolutely in love with. I'm gonna put it with my Action Force comics and my my vintage Action Force comics, and with my with the first issue of Operation Monster Force, which I hope to God gets released soon, because I really want that frickin' Dracula figure so badly. But moving on, we're gonna go into a custom, and which is actually an update. I finally decided to paint Obi Wan Nairobi's gun. If you're wondering why it looks slightly different, is because that there was a few minor complications. The sight, suppressor, and barrel kept breaking off. Actually, shortly after the last Robles Renegades, this figure fell, tumbled, landed on the barrel, and then I just couldn't find that original can, so I had to chop up another rifle and sacrifice its suppressor. But everything else pretty much stayed on. The complications arose during painting. I pretty much straight up mixed my own color. I tried to get it as close to desert tan as possible, and then I tried knocking it out with various dirty washes of black and brown. And then this is also a cloth strap that I fashioned from some ribbon that I also painted in a dirty brown wash and glued the ends together around the weapon so that it actually still sort of moves, so that there's still a little bit of freedom if I ever want to sling it over the shoulder for carry shots. The next one is actually one I've been meaning to do for a while, but I never got around to it because I sort of got lazy. This is now, he used to be called Gramps, he's now Dread, D-R-E-A-D, and he's legally distinct, because he was an EOD specialist and turned heavy weapons specialist, who then joined his local police force, and was probably the oldest rookie at around his mid to late 30s. Now he's at the crisp age of 55, but no. I can't remember what age I had him on the bio I posted on Instagram, but he's still old as a son of a bitch. But I was really feeling creative one day, so I just popped the Old Man Logan neutral head on a spare Desert Condor body and fell in love with it. Then I gave him this 3D printed minigun kit from Hottest Fuzz Customs to Tyler Arnold. Or Andrews? Tyler something. Sorry, man, I forgot how to remember your name. But it's one of the best kits I've ever found of this particular character, like the Juggernaut suit. I was originally even planning on just hodgepodging my own out of spare parts that I had, but thanks to the homie, I didn't have to. His website's going to be linked down in the description, same with his Instagram page, because all the stuff he does is just really cool. Now we're going to get on to a pickup, which was from GC Customs. And this is, the Reveltech Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate. I have been looking for this figure for friggin' ever. I love the anime, I love the abridged series, and when he was announced to be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 Season 6 of content as a Halloween crossover character, I was just frickin' over the moon. It was him, it was Spawn, it was Ash from Evil Dead, Skeletor, and I was just so excited, and I just kind of needed this figure, but now I really wish they did the policewoman. I can't remember her name, but I remember a couple other things that I think are a tad more important. So, going on from probably one of the best marksmen in anime to the reason I should stop complaining about my aiming. This is a prop replica Deadshot Daiquiri can. This is from Control Freak and Call of Duty. They are currently selling these as a limited edition run for their Deadshot Daiquiri thumb control grips for PS5 and Xbox. On the front, obviously the entire can is designed exactly like the perk can, all the way up to the printing on the front, 666 calories, 12 fluid ounces, which is 100% accurate. This is about the same size as your average can of soda. And it says, make every shot count on the top, and it even has some nutrition facts. Nutrition facts: serving size 1 can, 666 calories, 0 total grams of fat, 45 grams or 2% sodium. Total carbs is 45 grams and 20%. And total sugars is 25 grams, 0% protein, with multiple ingredients: high-rise thumbstick for improved aim, mid-rise thumbstick for better movement, dentured rum, cane sugar, strawberry oil, ginseng, turmeric, ginkgo biloba, and dehydrated eye of newt, which is actually slang for mustard. I don't know how frickin' amazing I can ever stress this little item being. If you're a COD fan and really want a nice quality prop of Deadshot Daiquiri, like, period, like if you're like a huge zombies nut and you're just like, I don't care if it's from the modern era or the past, I really want a really unique looking item for whether you have like some of the 3D printed fan stuff or some other COD offerings, you want to put it with those other items. I really suggest this little guy because it's high quality. It holds liquid. Like, I filled this thing with water and it held up until I turned it upside down, where the top ring of this, it still pops open. This is where the thumbsticks are. So you still have to be careful if you want to turn it upside down or anything. But yeah, I really do recommend this thing. It's a lot of fun to just look at. It's really great fun to get in the mail. Like, you open up your shipper box. The box itself is designed similar. Hold on. Like I said, the box itself has a similar design. Call of Duty High Performance Thumbsticks, Deadshot Daiquiri Edition, with the Control Freak logo, the Deadshot Daiquiri graphics, UPC legalese, made for PS4, PS5, which is what I play on. And then you open it up. It has that "make every shot count" slogan again. And then, of course, all of the foam inserts from inside the can if you want to use it. And now for another item that I recently finished. This is the Urban Combat Guard from this exact box, the one I got at Fanime. I decided to use the Caucasian head for the base of the figure, as well as just hodgepodging every single item I could, because I didn't have a full uniform set of equipment. Because whenever I buy figures, I don't really have a lot. I really do have to pick and choose, like, do I want a troop, do I want a figure or gear or whatever, so I have to kind of stockpile where I can. I just recently bought some more of the BBTS declassified gear sets. This one is full of all the vests and pouches, and then I have a second box full of the weapon systems. Take inhibit. So yeah, that's pretty much how down bad I am on the accessories front. But he uses actually the other hodgepodge weapon system, because I cut up 2 rifles. I had to get the can off of one and then the entire barrel, and I reused the main assembly of the weapon for Craighead's weapon. So what I wound up doing was I just glued all of the remaining parts together and built this. Almost a similar looking rifle, except I didn't have to reorient the laser box. So yeah, I'm going to repaint this one as well at a later time, but I hope to get off my lazy ass and do it one day. Oh boy. Come on. There we go. Now for the first special figure. This is another member of the Silverside family. If you remember all the way back to the first one, I said that Derek Silverside was the original, or based on the original. Well, this is his grandson. Or not his grandson, this is his son. One of many children in the Silverside family. Like I said, that one was based off of the Clone Wars Adventures characters, but because of my brother, myself, and my cousin making accounts, I decided to make one based on each of us, with one of them actually being two of mine, because I made an account, forgot the password and username, and had to make another one. So, this is Derek Jr., call sign Bell. He has a Steel Brigade backpack mixed with some odds and ends parts, I think with some 3D printed grenades in there. He uses the entirety of a Series 1 Steel Brigade body. It is all default, with the exception of this backpack and any other pieces inside this backpack. He uses the gold Steel Brigade helmet, and this is the original. You can tell because up until the first nasal connection to the muzzle, it is black instead of gold. And it uses a much deeper gold instead of the more light cartoony gold on the later release. He also uses a original head from a Series 1 G.I. Joe Classified Duke. I just thought it looked similar enough to the 3D printed Outback head that I decided to just run with it, and Outback wasn't even released as a figure yet, so I knew I would be able to get away with it in my mind. And I'm just too lazy to get another Outback and do the same thing. So that's how he's winding up. Oh, and speaking of Franken-guns, this is the second rifle that I chopped up to get the replacement muzzle. All I did was I stuck my knife in where the barrel would be after leveling it out, and I just bore a tiny hole. You can't see it because cameras are garbage. And then, of course, that Alucard I forgot to mention was 100% complete. GC, thank you so much for selling this to me. I friggin' love you, man. And then here is another custom Valaverse figure, but he was also the first. This is Dmitry Savzanov, aka Lucky. He was formerly a Ukrainian firefighter based in the Kharkiv Oblast region, nearest to one of the Chernobyl reactors. And he's based on a story of a fire engine getting hit by a butterfly mine, or hitting a butterfly mine while on patrol. And not only first of all, the vehicle was totally destroyed. However, miraculously, there were no reported casualties or fatalities of any member of the engine. Like, they all just walked away somehow. So I thought this would be a great tribute to those men. He uses exclusively Russian or Russian equivalent weaponry. He has the AK-47 Sezin, and the I think it's called the VSS. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I think it's the VSS Venturas or something like that. I know somebody's going to correct me down below. And this is actually one of my favorite weapon systems ever made, because it's an integrally suppressed AK platform weapon, so that automatically just makes it immediately cool to me. As you can see, he has custom deco. He has 2 red crosses on both shoulder. He has a red cross on either shoulder to denote that he's actually pretty much exclusive, a first responder exclusively. He has a Halligan bar from Anteros Customs on Etsy and Instagram. A link will be down below. And he uses a modified Tim Kennedy head with actually a sculpted on beard and dead eye. I didn't have white paint, so I decided to use blue. And I still think it comes across okay. but I might redo that eye later on. Excuse me. He also has a Ukrainian flag haphazardly painted on his body armor and helmet, as well as caution striping on both of his legs and 2 on his arms. And then he also has a Tim Kennedy knife attached to the back of his vest. And he reuses the Maxim 9 pistol holster, pistol, and drop leg pouch. And I believe his backpack might contain a few extra goodies, but I can't exactly remember. And that's why this guy's kind of close to my heart, is because he is the first one. Quite literally, there was no Derek yet. I hadn't bought a spare Duke to do that with because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about another custom I was making at the time, and then that sort of just fell into place when I decided to maybe we should try putting that head on that body. But because I knew Valiver's product was compatible with one another, I was just like, what if I decided to modify Tim Kennedy's head? So that kind of just worked out perfectly. So thank you guys for watching. As always, links to everybody will be in the description below. Stay wonderful. Love you all. Stay blue.